Cut the motor cable to make sure the worn parts are not reused. Put the cable gland on the motor cable. Pull the cable into the stator housing. Assemble and fasten the cable entry. Make sure that the gland screw bottoms out when fastened. Trim the wires. Make sure the ground wire is approximately 5 cm or 2 inches longer than the remaining wires. Connect the leads according to the wiring diagram. Fasten the wires to the stator windings using tie wraps. Make sure to use the correct torque when tightening the screw for the ground wire. Fit the bearing in place using special fitting tools and a mandrel. Fit the bearing holder onto the shaft. Use special fitting tools and a mandrel. Grease a new O-ring for the bearing cover. Assemble the bearing cover with the bearing holder. Grease the threads of the bearing holder screws and fasten them using the correct torque. Grease the O-ring. Press the stationary seal into its seat. Make sure that the highly polished surface is facing out. Clean the seal face on the shaft. Apply oil to the seal surface. Fit the rotating seal unit to the shaft. Fit the circlip. Compress the seal unit with a mounting tool. Press the seal as far as it will go without forcing it. Fit the bearing to the shaft using special fitting tools and a mandrel. Check that the sleeve for the oil can pass unobstructed from the cutouts in the bearing holder. Replace the old sealing washers with new ones. Fit the 3 self-tapping screws using the correct tightening torque. Make sure to grease the screws. Grease the O-ring. In order to get the stator housing in the correct position, the junction box must be positioned just above the flange, where there is no hole for the screws connecting the hydraulic part. Grease and fit the screws using the correct tightening torque. Grease the O-ring. Press the stationary seal into its seat. Make sure that the highly polished surface is facing out. Clean the seal face on the shaft. Grease the shaft. Apply oil to the seal surface. Fit the rotating seal unit to the shaft. Press the seal as far as it will go without forcing it. Fit the circlip. Grease the threads of the impeller screw and the washer. Tighten the impeller screw according to the specifications stated in the installation, operation and maintenance manual. Hang the pump upright using a crane. Prevent the impeller from falling off. Place the stator housing on top of the pump housing. Grease the pump housing screws. Tighten the screws in diagonal sequence using the correct tightening torque. Grease the O-ring for the oil plug and fit it into the hole. Place the pump in a horizontal position. Fill the oil housing with the amount of oil specified in the IOM manual. Grease the O-ring for the other oil plug and fit it into the hole marked Oil.